Social media can slowly become a much bigger part of your life than you ever expected. At first, it is just something you check for a few minutes, then one day you realize you are reaching your phone every chance you get. While eating, working, waiting, or even when you are doing absolutely nothing. So eventually you decided you had enough. You delete the app and expect to feel free, focused, and productive. But that is usually not what happens, at least not at the first time. Quitting social media comes with its own challenges, so here are 5 things you can expect after leaving it and why I still think it is worth it to do it. First thing you will notice is you will still reach for your phone. One of the weirdest thing I noticed after quitting was how often I still grab my phone without even thinking about it. The apps were gone, but the habit was still there. I would unlock my phone, check my emails, scroll through old photos, or open random apps I don't even care about. That is when I realized I was not only addicted to social media, I was addicted to escaping boredom. Whenever work got difficult or I had nothing to do, I reached for my phone. Deleting the apps was easy, but breaking the habit was the hardest part. Second, you will probably relapse. Most people don't quit social media once and never look back. I deleted the app many times and eventually downloaded them again. Usually it started with a reason, maybe I wanted to find a restaurant, check a place, or see something everyone else was talking about. I would tell myself I will just check one thing and suddenly I was scrolling again and again. These platforms are designed to keep your attention, so if you slip out, it doesn't mean you have failed. What helped me was keeping the apps deleted by default. If I really need one, I could download it again. That extra step was usually enough to make me ask, do I actually need this right now? And most of the time the answer was no, a big no. Third, you will feel like you are missing out the world. When you are no longer on social media, you stop seeing what everyone else is doing. The vacation, birthdays, achievements, and daily life updates. All of it disappear at once. And at first, that can feel lonely. But after some time, I noticed that the people who truly mattered were still there. They texted, they called, they made plans. Social media made me feel connected to hundreds of people, but most of those connections were just like, comment, and story reactions. My circle became smaller, but it became more real. And yes, you will miss trend and memes too. At first, it feels like you are missing out, but eventually you will realize you are really not missing that much. Fourth, you will feel less informed. For years, social media was where I got most of my news. So when I quit, I suddenly felt disconnected from the world. But then I realized I was not just consuming information. I was consuming everyone's opinion along with it. Every event came with thousands of reactions, arguments, and angry comments. After a while, it became difficult to tell which opinions were actually mine. Without social media constantly feeding me information, I had to look things up myself, understand them, and form my own opinion. Yes, I hear about some things later now, but I would rather understand something slowly than spend every single day being flooded with endless opinion and negativity. Fifth, you are going to be bored, and honestly, that might be a good thing. Most of us don't know how to be bored anymore. The second there is a quit moment, we pulled out our phones. Waiting in line, sitting alone, or riding an elevator, every empty second gets filled with content. So when social media disappears, the silence feels uncomfortable. But if you stay with that boredom, something starts to change. You begin thinking more, you notice ideas, you become more present, and slowly you start feeling creative again. It is hard to create when you are always consuming. Sometimes your brain just needs space to wander, and that is something I don't fully understand until I stepped away from social media. So is it actually worth it? For me, I would say yes. Quitting social media gave me 3 things that genuinely improved my life. First, my relationship became deeper. I spent less time keeping up with everyone and more time with the people who actually mattered. Second, I became more creative. Instead of constantly consuming other person's content, I had more time for my own ideas. And third, I developed a stronger sense of who I am. Without endless trend and opinions influencing me every day, I had more space to figure out what I actually liked, what I believed, and what mattered to me. We are surrounded by so much noise that we rarely get the chance to hear out our own thoughts. Sometimes stepping away from that noise can help you remember who you are without it. So if you decide to quit, just know that the beginning would not be easy. You will feel bored, you will feel left out, and you might relapse. But on the other side of that discomfort, you might find something you have been missing for a long time. More clarity, more focus, and more control over your own attention. And in a world where everyone is fighting for your attention, getting it back might be one of the best things you can do for yourself. And at the end, if you liked this video, consider subscribing for more content like this. And if you have ever tried quitting social media, let me know in the comments what your experience was like. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.